everybody, and welcome back to my channel Planet Build, and welcome back to Willow Grove. This is part 5, and in today's video we got a lot of things to do. In the last video I just showcased the thoughts that I got for my new area, which will be a cyberpunk inspired area. And this is actually the perfect moment to integrate the new sci-fi theme that we also discussed in the last video into this area. Now, I already made a facade in the last video, which you can see over here, and this will be the idea for this whole area. This is just only one facade. In today's video we're going to create 2 facades, and I'm also going to do some things on my own. Afterwards I'm going to showcase that, and I think we can complete all left side of our area in today's video. And I'm also going to showcase the park that we're going to build in front of our area, which will be the entrance area for our cyberpunk area. So lots of things to do. Let's just go ahead and kick in the speed build, and something different from the other 3 or 4 videos that I made for Willow Grove. I think I'm going to commentate on the speed build because I got a lot of things to talk to you about. So let's just go ahead and kick in the speed build right now. And speaking of facades, if you may have noticed, I do need a lot of facades in this area. I think I got about 6 or 7 of these block buildings over in my section. And I think each block comes with 2 or 3 facades on the front. So that should be, if you have a square block in this section, let's say 12 facades per block. So that would probably be around 30 to 36 blocks that I need to, or facades that I need to create for this area. And just saying that the first facade that I made cost me somewhere between 40 to 60 minutes. So I think each facade will cost me eventually 30 to 60 minutes to create. It only gets easier once I got 1 or 2 facades in, because I then can copy some of those items I already used, or maybe copy the whole facade and just mirror it, or reuse some items of it. But in the beginning it's just a tough one to create all those facades. I do need to say that I searched up some images online of the cyberpunk game to see how it actually looks and what kind of things they use in that game, and just to give me some ideas on how I'm going to create this area. And I usually don't do, or it's been a long time since I did a voiceover for my speed build sections. But a lot of things happened in the last couple of, so let's say weeks. I think the last video that I actually did this was for my Sunshine Scandinavia park, one of the last videos. And so I think it's a good time now to actually do a voiceover again, and just to catch up with you guys, and also just to catch up with what I'm doing right now. As you may have noticed, quite busy with the Willow Grove park right now, because I do need to finish this park before August 1st. Because that is the deadline that this park needs to be finished. And I think I'm setting the limit, raising the bar a little bit too high on the cyberpunk area right now. Like I said before, I think I'd need about 36 facades to actually cover all those blocks in this area. And then there's still so much detail I need to add on the road and on the walkways and on top of the building. So quite curious how long I'm going to take for this, how long it will take me to create this area. I'm guessing somewhere between 3 or 4 weeks, and then after that I still need 2 areas to complete. So I need to do a little bit of time management right now to see if I can actually create this park before August 1st, but I'm doing the best I can, so hopefully that will work. And I'm also excited to see the new update 6, which is coming within a couple of weeks, because that also comes with the pirate theme and the fantasy theme. And mostly the pirate theme will come to help me create my harbor area. But that's just a thing for later. Right now, the cyberpunk inspired area, like I said, a lot of blocks to work on, a lot of facades. And what I also wanted to create for this area is not to have one flat facade in front of that block building, but I wanted to have some shops inside. I wanted to create a little bit more depth in those buildings by creating these shops and restaurants inside of the building, but also sometimes use some elements to actually create a different depth in those buildings. Now what I'm also going to do, and that's probably a thing I'm going to showcase in the end of the video, I'm going to set some attractions inside those block buildings. So in this case, in this block building, there is a small attraction and there's a drop tower in the other one, and I thought it was the looping attraction on the other one. Not quite sure what it's called, but we'll get to that one later in the video. Now, like I said, I did some online research on how these buildings actually look in Cyberpunk. But I also used AI to see or to give me some images of a futuristic city, and that helped me a lot by creating this these buildings, because I'm not a star when it comes to making facades like these from scratch. So if any of you would ever had some trouble creating something that you actually don't know what you're creating, just go ahead and search up some images online, and that will give you some inspiration. Now, before I started the Willow Grove, or when I participated in the Willow Grove contest, I was like, am I going to do Planet Zoo, or am I sticking with Planet Coaster 2, or am I going to do something else? I still believe Planet Coaster right now is my favorite thing to do. Also, when it comes to time, I actually only got time for one game to participate. I think it will be rough and not as good as I'm doing right now if I would pick another game and share that content as well. So for now, I'm just sticking with the Planet Coaster game. And since all the updates are coming with, let's say, each month, I think it also keeps me going because they're just adding new stuff to the game, new updates, and that's what I like. So yeah, I think I'm going to stick with Planet Coaster for a while. Now for the building over here, I just wanted to create a flat. It's not a flat, it's an apartment building. I'm not quite sure if they call it a flat in English. I think flat is like the translation for something flat. In Holland we say this is a flat, but it's actually an apartment building. So that's what I wanted to create, and on the first floor of most of my facades there will be some shops or some restaurants, or maybe some gift shops, or maybe some toilets and stuff like that. And then the top floor will be for some apartments or some other things. Now, like I said in the intro of the video, I'm going to create two facades. So this will be the first one, which is the Chief Beef one. And the second one will be on the left corner of this block. And when it comes to time management, I do need to create some facades in my own time, just to make sure that I can keep up the process and make sure that I'm able to finish this area within 3 or 4 weeks. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to get those other two areas finished in time. Now, when it comes to planning a new area, like in this case, the area that we're creating right now, I usually first make a small mock-up on where I wanted my buildings to come. Then I'm just creating one building for the block, and then I'm going to add as an additional building all those facades, which makes it easy for me to just copy those facades and use it on another section. And I think that just helps me speed up the process of completing this area. And also a thing that I'm trying to do, besides having those shops on the first floor and creating that depth in the block buildings, I just like this. Sometimes I just want to cut off the corner, just to not make it look the same at each corner. And in this case, by cutting off the corner, I think this helps with creating a more realistic block building than if it would have only square shapes in it. Now, as you may have noticed, on the right side of our corner building over here is the red building, and that is the building I've been working on in my own time. Now, like I said, I do need to work on some facades in my own time to keep up the pace and make sure that this area is completed within 3 or 4 weeks. So I'm going to do a mixture of some facades on my own time and some facades for the speed build section. But the red building is a nice example of the usage of some images that I searched up online, just to give me some ideas and get some creativity. But in the end, when I got some pieces together, I eventually didn't need those images anymore, and my mind was going crazy on this building. And what I'm also looking for in this cyberpunk area are some weird, funny lines which I can put on top of my building, like in this case, the red building over there, which I'm definitely going to showcase in the end of the video. That's a hotel and a spa, and I called it outer space, and that's a thing that just popped up once, and I was like, okay, I'm going to use that, but I highlighted the SPA in space, so that gives you the illusion that there's actually a spa, which is called outer space. And that's just, I know it's lame, it's silly, but that's a thing that I love to do, and I think that's the detail I'm looking for in my builds. And hopefully someone will notice when they're going to review my park. And probably some people who watch the video actually know right now that that is a thing that I'm looking for, and that's actually a spa. But I'm quite curious if anyone will ever notice that small little detail. Now, I'm also using a lot of TV screens in this area. I think that is giving so much detail, but also a nice view at night because they all do light up. But unfortunately, I cannot use custom images or videos due to the copyright, because other people are going to review this park, they're going to make videos about it. So I don't want to get in trouble with any copyrights on that one. So I'm just using the base game media, the images and the videos. So I need to be creative on the lines and the titles that I'm giving my building. So in this case, just the laundry one. But yeah, I think I'm always looking for the funny ones, like the outer space building next to this one. And the thing that also helps me making sure that this area is also a place to see and a nice place to visit in nighttime is that I'm always making sure that there's enough lighting on each building. So when you're building something, just make sure that there's, in this case, I'm going for the lighting on top of the doors, but you can use lighting in different ways. I think I'm also going to add in some lights to this this sign over here, and by just adding, let's say 4 or 5, maybe 6 small lights to this building, eventually when you do that to each of your facade or each building, that will give such a nice view at night, and afterwards you don't have to add all those lights again to your building. or to your area. And what also sometimes helps is to just use those spotlights. If there's not enough light on a building, just use those spotlights and hit them on the ground or hide them on the ground. And I think that also helps me highlighting out some buildings, in this case the blue laundry building over here. But I'm definitely going to show you some nighttime shots in the end of the video. Now, before we're going to finish this building and start working on our park in front of the cyberpunk area, which will be the entrance area for our cyberpunk area. I'm not quite sure if I'm keeping the name cyberpunk area. Maybe I'm just going to call it Willow Grove District or something like that. I'm still trying to figure that one out, but in this case, we're going to build a park in front of our area. But before we're going to do that, I just wanted to say thank you for actually watching my videos. I never thought that I was going to do this in my life. I gamed a lot and I'm still gaming a lot, but I never thought on creating videos for YouTube and showing the things that I build. And I became such a better builder than I was when I, for example, let's say played Planet Coaster 1. So I think practice makes perfect, and or not perfect, but in this case, let's say 99% perfect. But yeah, quite happy with all the views and all the comments and all the love that you guys give. So a huge shout out for that one. And also a huge shout out to some amazing creations I've seen from some people. There's so many good players at this moment playing Planet Zoo, and some creations are just wild. And I think that's the beauty of Planet Coaster 2, is that you can go all the way. Yes, there are still some things that I also want to see in the future, but for now, I said it in part 4 of Willow Grove, I think now is the right moment to start playing Planet Coaster 2, because there's so many bugs fixed since this game came out, so many issues. But now it's just, in my opinion, a very good game, and you can go all the way. Now for this park, and that's the hardest part of creating a city, is where's your start, where's your beginning, where's your end of your city? How are you going to cover up those outer sections? And in this case, the front side of our area needs to be covered by a park, just to make sure that the view from within the city, but also from within the nostalgic area, which will be created later, is just blocked off a little bit, just to make sure that it's not visible from a far distance. And what I'm also trying to do in this case with the park I'm going to create is that the line of sight is just a little bit, how do you say that? There's something in front of your line of sight that makes sure that you're not able to see the whole city. But once you turn around the corner, you're able to see more of the area where you're going. So that's why I'm using a lot of curves in this park and not a straight walkway, just to block off the view of seeing the whole city at once. And once you enter the city from without the park, you'll be amazed on what you see. And also a thing that came with the latest update is the ability to change the color of the rocks. Now, before that update, and that was when I was creating Sunshine Scandinavia, I did the Gold Rush Mine Train coaster, and the only rocks that I could recolor were those aquatic rocks with those shells on it. I think that was okay to use, but in this case, they added the same group of rocks, but then you can recolor them. So quite happy with this one, and in this case, I'm just giving that a little bit brown, light gray color to the rocks to create a nice rock for this park. And also I think this combines very well with the gravel terrain paint that you got. So it's almost quite similar in color to make sure it blends in with the gravel terrain. And I'm just going for 3 types of bushes in this case. Not too overwhelming, but just enough to make sure that the area is well filled, but also blocks off a little bit of that view. Now we're actually almost at the end of our speed build section. After the speed build section, I'm definitely going to showcase what I built, because I also made a Willow Grove police department and another small shop next to that. And that should wrap it up for the left side of our area. Still a lot of things to do, so stay tuned for the next part. Okay, so here we are, and I'm going to call it Willow Grove District, because I was thinking about Cyberpunk District, Willow Grove District. Let's just call it Willow Grove District, because this is my Willow Grove Park, and I think this is the Willow Grove District. I think that fits perfectly. Now, like I said before, I did some facades on my own time. As you may have noticed here in the background, this is the Willow Grove Police Department. Let's just get through this this section and see what today's video actually created. You've seen 2 facades, you've seen this park, and now it's time to see what I've built in my own time. And this is the thing that I explained in my speed build section, is where you have to enter the park over here. There's just a line of sight which is blocked off, so that you're not able to see the whole city at once, but still gives you the wow factor when you would enter the city from the front side of the park. Now, this was our first building that we created in part 4. This is a facade that I have created in my own time, which is the luxury apartments. And also, like I said before, it's just quite simple, but I'm always looking for that how do you say that, that detail in the buildings, to make sure that it's not one flat facade, by just creating these windows and something inside, like a front desk in this case. And like I said, I also wanted to use a lot of those TV screens in this one. So in this first facade, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and one on this side, 8. So hopefully my PC will be able to actually keep it up with this, with all these TV screens. But I think I'm good. I made a 140K pieces such as Scandinavia, so I think this one will do as well. So the facade over on this side, I also did a lot of work on the roads. So you got the crossovers over on this side, and this is actually the part where guests have to get on over to the street. So they are able to walk the streets, but they're not able to, or they are only able to get on the walkway again by using those crossovers. But I'm going to make sure that there are enough crossovers in this city. So you got 3 over on this side already. And a lot of lampposts, and again, a lot of TV screens in this area. A small park over here, which is also walkable for the guests. And as you may have noticed in Cyberpunk, there's a lot of trash throughout the city. This is probably one example of it, and I'm going to add all of these things also to the rest of the area. Now over here you got what I found funny was the outer space hotel and spa. Again with not too many, but just enough billboards on this building. Then you got the facade that we built today in the speed build section, which is the Chief Beef. And also again with a possibility to enter the shop just to give it a little bit more depth and not make it one flat facade. Then over on this side you got the laundry building where you can actually do your laundry, but also serves as an apartment building, which is open 24/7. And then over on this side, this will actually be our first attraction which we're going to create, which is the drop tower over here. It goes down a little bit underground just to make sure that it's not high up out of this building, but just high enough. And this is our Willow Grove Police Department. Now I do need to work on the side over here. These will be some stairs which eventually run down to the second area of our Willow Grove district. But this will be the entrance over here for our attraction. And a small guest information sign, or not sign, a guest information shop on this side, and some toilets over on this side. And again, just to create some detailed facades, I just put this wall a little bit to the inside just to make sure that it's not one flat facade, and made sure that there's a 2x1 grid inside this building with some walls. It's quite simple, but that just gives the illusion that there's an actual shop in this building. And yeah, that should be it for our first section of the Willow Grove district. A lot of things to do. As you may have noticed, there are a lot of blocks in this one, so hopefully I can fix this within 3 or 4 weeks. But I created this in let's say 3 days, so yeah, quite happy with it. I hope you guys like it. If you do, leave a comment on what you think about this this area. This is probably, for me, my biggest my biggest job when it comes to creating an area, and I need to get all the detail into this one. So I'm quite curious how you guys like this one. Leave a like, leave a comment, and I hope to see you guys very soon in part 6, where we're going to continue creating the Willow Grove district. And thank you for now. See you guys very soon. Bye bye. I think I forgot something, so don't mind me, but I forgot something. Maybe the most important thing to see and to show before I'm going to end this video, of course, the nighttime shots. So not going to say bye-bye yet. I'm going to say bye-bye after this, because I'm going to show you guys the nighttime images as well. Because that's when the city comes to life, actually. There's so much lighting inside the buildings, on the outside of the buildings, different colors, different shapes of lighting. I used the blue lighting a little bit more when it comes to the Willow Grove Police Department, and in this case you got the blue and red of the Chief Beef. So those are the things that I've been looking for each time I'm creating a facade. And yeah, I just wanted to make sure that this area looks amazing in nighttime as well. Over here you got the inside of our hotel, just quite simple, a 1x1 or a 1x2 inside room, but that also makes sure that there's some detail in this building as well. So I'm going to say it again. Thank you for watching, and bye bye. See you next time, guys.